let you in deeper than I let anyone else before. Fell in love with my broken pieces, took them all and made them yours. Didn't know what my heartbeat needed, skipping out, no I can't keep score. When I lose my breath, boy, you got me breathing. Oh, every little thing you do, every time you hold me, take me higher, higher. Every little thing you do, every time you hold me, take me higher, higher. Oh. Magic, no, I'm never letting go. Now that I have it with you. When you kiss me, it's like the stars fall out the sky onto my heart to cover up what I don't wanna show. I let you in deeper than I let anyone else before. Fell in love with my broken pieces, took them all and made them yours. Didn't know what my heartbeat needed, skipping out, no I can't keep score. When I lose my breath, boy, you got me breathing. Oh, every little thing you do, every time you hold me, take me higher, higher. Every little thing you do, every time you hold me, take me higher, higher. Oh, you take me higher, you take me higher, baby, you take me higher, you take me higher, baby, you take me higher, you take me higher, baby, you take me higher, yeah, you take me higher, baby.
Welcome to Saturday Night Vibe, a aggressive new show with Let's Be S3. I am your host, Marlon. Theus is on the show, but he having a little issues with his computer, but he will be back. And I see Anna in the background, but now it seems like there's an issue with her computer. So it's amazing when I can get my computer to work. You know, when my computer was going dead, everybody else's computer was working fine. So now I got my computer working. But anyway, we just gonna keep this train going. This is Marlon. This is Saturday Night Vibe, and as you can see from the title of the show, in case you don't know, at the end of the year, I do the worst person of the year candidates, and I broke it down to the worst person, the worst wife, and the worst husband. So it is those three categories that I put people in. Here's this. So it's those three people that I put the category in: the worst person, the worst wife, and the worst husband. Throughout the year, I find people who are contenders or candidates, so to speak, for that reward at the end of the year that we'll do in December. And it's been a while. I was getting kind of scared because I wasn't seeing somebody who was literally just that bad. Also, please let it be clear that any spouse that's cheating is automatically disqualified from the running because there are certain categories that, yeah, it just makes you look bad and it's too easy. Cheating and spousal abuse are automatically disqualified. You know, you're monsters. I don't want to deal with you. So it's too easy. But tonight, as you see, we have a candidate for a worst wife of the year candidate. Also, in our second hour, to even it out, I have a candidate for the worst husband of the year. So there you are. And our second hour is jam packed. So, like I said, am I the a-hole? Positive story of the week, Mafia video of the week, and of course, Foxy video of the week. If you are new here, please go ahead and hit that like button. I appreciate you all that's watching right now. It truly helps. We are still growing. Like, um, I don't know what the number I said last week, but as of today, it is 673 and counting. I literally, from this point on, is getting new subscribers every day. And I always wanted to say that, but now is absolutely true. I'm getting 2, 3, 4, 5 subscribers a day now. So thank you all who are new and watching this show. I truly appreciate it. It's
From the most inconsistent person on the panel, I must say, consistency pays off. Good work, good work, good work, my brother. And my sister.
Thank you very much. And since you're already talking, how's everything going, Theas?
I'm sorry.
No, go ahead.
I'm good. How are you?
Because the rest of the thing, all I was going to do is start bragging. So go, please take it away.
The gentleman cedes the rebalance of his time to Marlon.
Okay. There is a video from Kiko. I don't know when he's going to post it, but Metheus and Tracy was on earlier today doing a recording with him. It's very enlightening. Please go watch the recording. I would appreciate it to help his channel grow as well. Anna, how's everything going today?
Hello, bros. I'm doing pretty good. In fact, I feel all productive that not only today was a support group day, but I managed to edit a video, so one will be going up tonight.
All right, cool. And if y'all are not tuned in to Anna Hart's YouTube channel, am I talking slow? If you're not tuned into Anna Hart's YouTube channel, Anna has given me permission to put her videos on this station as well. But I've also made a decision of waiting 1 week after she put the video on. That I think is just a little unfair. She's trying to grow a channel too, so taking it as soon as it comes out, and I just don't see that as being fair. She's trying to grow a channel too.
No, because if you hit it, it hits hers, right? You're
linking. Right.
Oh, are you linking or you?
Well, no, I think he's talking about taking the actual video and uploading it to this channel, Radical Power.
Yeah.
Which I'm perfectly fine with you doing that day of. I am not as concerned with growing numbers as I am just trying to think about good content and what would be good conversation to put out around the topics of disability, chronic illness, Lyme disease, and anything that's around that. I mean, I still forget to say, please subscribe or do all the things. It's just not where my focus is, and at some point it might be, but not right now.
Not right now.
No.
Marlon, you extended me the grace of saying, hey, if I make a video, you'll show it. I don't feel like making videos, so ain't nothing happening.
Let's see who we already got out here. Afro C, why is the lady scratched out? Hey, Afro, which she may or may not still be here. This was way before we went on the air. In which I subscribe, hey, Afro, listen to the show, and you're going to want to scratch her out as well. Trust me, she's really...
It's about the show topic, I think.
Okay, yes, I caught up now.
Hey, what's up? Like the new background. Thank you. Thank you very much. Foxy is
In the background?
18 now. Let me hold on one second. I'm sorry. So I don't know why this is the only picture that like to be crooked as all get out. But Foxy is into painting now, and this is the wall of fame, so I speak. These are my so far some of my favorite paintings that she do, and as she grows as an artist, there'll be a lot more paintings that's coming up.
Tell him that's the first. That was day one.
That was
painting.
some of these are day one paintings.
And
Some
then
of
that's
these,
day 5 is the palm trees.
yep, that one is the after day 5. So,
I love the one over
I didn't even
your
know you
right
dropped this, man.
shoulder.
I'm sitting here talking to nothing. Hey, I think they look really good, and I hope that you really enjoy each of your paint and sip sessions, and they let you take the bottle home.
no, this is her at home.
Oh, even
Oh,
better.
cool.
She's doing it now. This is
All right. I
this
hear
is
that.
her.
I hear that painting is very therapeutic and it's great, especially when you have talent like you do, and it makes it easier to deal with someone like Marlon every day.
Wait, I just started 2 weeks ago. Wait a minute.
I might have a couple of things that I don't use. Would you be interested in any kind of art supplies that just are laying around,
Heck
painting
yeah.
wise? Yeah, oh, awesome.
All right. Parker, what's his channel called?
Kiko's Free Thinking Forum.
I think that's it.
But as far as like I think that's what it is. But
Ooh, you know what?
Could you maybe make a community post
Yes.
and link him up?
Yes.
That would be great. Well, congratulations on getting a video. That's great.
See if I can find it as quick as I can here. It is Kiko, right?
yep.
Kiko.
Yep.
Right.
Bear with me one second. I got it right here. So the name of it is Kiko's
Free Thinkers
Free
Forum.
Thinking Forum.
Mm-hmm.
And this will be the link to it. So there we go, right there. So it's already there. Parker said those are cool. Thank you. She is very therapeutic for her. She's been doing it every night since last week. For the last 2 weeks. So it's very cool.
So is the purpose to just make a piece of art every day? Whatever comes?
Whenever it ends.
Like whenever I need the wax.
Very nice. It's what I love coloring for, and I do that in adult coloring books, child coloring books. I love the relaxation that you can get, but also the hand-eye coordination. It works out a lot.
I like it.
Plus, painting is one form of take painting is one of the cares in combating PTSD. Any type of art
Mm-hmm.
is so art is a pretty strong instrument. If anybody ever want to get into a relaxation, dip in wine.
Creation.
Yeah.
Creation does that for you. That's why you got woodworkers and
Yeah.
it's like it engages a different part of your brain.
Yeah, and
It does.
it really just puts you in a different plane.
Yeah. And I'm not a creative person, so that's why I live right here in dry facts and darkness.
Oh, okay.
Arr.
Let's get this party started. We got one more. When people say adult coloring books, it reminds me when I once worked at Amazon for a few months and found many adult coloring books, but a different meaning for the word adult.
Mhm.
And you people colored?
Naughty boy. All right.
There's a reason.
There is a reason, but what I'm talking about is just a lot more intricate, a lot more involved. And but get this, Mama Lo just came in, Mama Heart. Hello. And
Heart.
Hi, Mom Heart.
Hello.
we have been reminiscing about past birthdays for
About
her.
how old I am.
You said it, not me. You're not old.
You are as old as you feel.
Oh no, I feel like 112.
Don't do that one. You're as-
I'm as young as I dream. There we go.
there you
Yeah.
go. And she just found pictures from when she was the lead singer in a band and did gigs every weekend.
That's so cool.
Leslie.
Mm.
Now that's an artist.
Mama Heart!
You got to send me that picture too.
I will. I will.
I was so skinny.
I am working on a surprise for Mama Heart birthday / injection night. I'm not even gonna tell Anna about it because it's gonna be some.
I'm sorry, but she just ran out going, I'm not listening.
No, I'm not gonna say it. I'm not gonna tell you what it is because I got to work on it and
This is funny.
it's gonna be interesting. But anyway, let's go ahead and get into the story. It's 5 videos. So let's go ahead and get into the first one, which always is the introduction.
Me and my wife are both in our 30s and we've been together for 17 years. I am the sole provider for my family of 6. Me, my partner, and 4 kids. We also have 2 dogs. I work 5 days a week and sometimes work on weekends if we need a little bit more cash. My partner is a stay-at-home mom and hasn't worked since our oldest was born, by her own choice. I wake up at 5 a.m. to take the dogs out, to prepare the kids' lunches and snacks, ensure all school essentials such as bags are at the front door, and then head to work in a physically demanding job. My wife picks up the kids from school and daycare at 7. They stay that late due to after-school activities. I come home at 7, and most nights I make dinner. I help with homework, I give my wife time off for the little ones, I do dishes, take the dogs out for a longer walk again, put the little ones to bed, and if the house is a mess, I will, of course, clean it. I pay for everything: mortgage, bills, insurance, groceries, clothes, toys, technology, after-school activities, dates, and a woman to deep clean the house once a month. My partner wants to go on a 2-week-long vacation with her friends, which will overlap with the weekend away that I had planned with my brother, whom I rarely get to see because we live so far away. She wants me to cancel my trip because she's tired and needs a break. We got into an argument over this, in which unkind things were said on both sides, but I'm unwilling to budge on this. How do I get through to her that I need some rest? In the comments, OP adds some clarifying details. My children are between 16 and 6. My wife doesn't take them to their clubs or activities. My kids are, of course, able to eat breakfast at home, but they often enjoy eating with their friends before school starts at 8. My wife doesn't walk the dogs because she doesn't like to, and frankly, they don't like her. I enjoy my time walking the dogs because it allows me some time to think. And as for the people asking what my wife does all day, honestly, she's not isolated. She often tells me of things that she does with her friends, sister, mother, etc. She goes to the gym. She has hobbies such as embroidery, knitting, and jewelry design. She changes what she likes to do, saying that it keeps things fresh. Housework-wise, she does the laundry, she'll feed and water the dogs, and do enrichment with them. You all have given me a lot to think about.
Okay. You're still muted, Alan.
Sorry. That is one uneven balance beam of personal responsibility. If you have time to be saying, I went out with my friends, I did this for me. But you're not taking care of the house, and now the one who has taken care of all of the bills, and I am not knocking at all a primary parent, really big job. Depending on how you go at it, like my brother is the one who is at home, who stays very involved with my nephew's, schedule. His wife, my sister-in-law, is the one who goes to work, and he does all the, what you might call traditionally female work, making sure that there is dinner on the table when she gets home, that things in the home are somewhat orderly. I mean, there's always chaos. But no, this is quite uneven. And it sounds like, I just don't want to. Tough. You're a mother. Without hearing more as to why, so far it sounds like being lazy.
Okay. I'm not gonna say much because like you said, let's get deeper into the story. But did you have anything, Theus?
Well, I mean, I'll basically say I feel for him and then I don't. My comments ain't gonna be well taken because we live in this world where people are so hung up on words and stuff. But me personally, this is just me. Taking care of your family, right? So being the stay-at-home parent, it's hard work.
Mm-hmm.
It is not a job. Stop it. Okay? There's a reason why there's jobs. There's not jobs. Sorry. And he is covering, that's fine. And he is covering all these expenses that take away from her doing what would normally be the job of being at home. You've got somebody else who comes in and deep cleans. He comes in and does a lot of the cooking. She really is kind of like a kept wife. So I'm not giving you no credit for that. I mean, not no credit. You're still doing what you do. You're still a parent. He didn't say you were a bad parent. But you are coming across as a crappy spouse. So you're not doing all of your job. Like there should be some balance there. So, whatever. People don't have to agree with me and I really don't care. The other thing, his is kind of the world he's created for himself in a way. And we don't have a lot of information, but whenever I hear a dude who covers all these expenses, and I say a dude because I don't usually hear from women. Oftentimes women are either doing it all by themselves or there's a better balance in some way. I don't know. I just don't hear it from women. Not this particular conversation because it's not as well publicized or shared. But he strikes me as someone who's afraid to upset his wife. And you heard me hit on that from time to time. You can't be afraid to upset your spouse. If you're in a situation where it's not healthy for one of you. If you're always afraid of conflict and all of this, you can't fix anything. You can't address anything. All you're going to do is let stuff stew on the inside and start to resent the other person for not stepping up, for not being a better partner, for not this, for not this, for not this. But really, yeah, they might be all those things, but you've never given them the opportunity to be different because you're not conveying to them what's bothering you. You just rolling with it. So you're going to keep getting more of it, right? In fact, you could end up with a spouse who ends up doing even less because their view is, well, maybe I just need to get out the way. I don't need to disturb him. I don't need to upset him or whatever. You end up reinforcing the exact opposite of what you think you want. And then I'm like, yo, I want to go see my brother. And you're like, well, I want to go on a trip with my girls. You know what? Sorry. You always get what you want. We're going to have this fight right now. You always get what you want. Tell me what you get that you don't want. Let's go ahead and do this. But see, he strikes me as the kind of person he ain't going to do that because he obviously hasn't done that with her. And he's on a darn message thread telling the rest of the world. You know, toughen up and have a conversation with your partner. Otherwise, find your way to unravel it. The odds are you're scared to unravel it. Because if you get a divorce, you're screwed. Your children are all minors. You take care of all of them. She ain't got no job. So now you lose her, you lose the kids, you lose the house, and you lose your money.
Yeah.
So you feel like you're trapped. So it's like, yo, this is a tough situation to be in, bro. But understand your role in creating the situation that you're in. And then try to figure out how do you unwind this? How do you get more out of it? Because it's better for you to confront her respectfully, confront her and find out that this relationship is really one-sided and she's okay with that. So you know that, hey, it's going to suck, but we got to go our separate ways. Or find that way to rebuild some things. That's my view. But like I said, people are probably going to agree with like 2/3 of what I said and completely disagree with the first part, which is cool.
Let's go. All right, let's go ahead and get into the second part. Part number 2, and this is when it starts getting really interesting.
Then, 3 weeks later, Opie posted an update. So, as one of you suggested, I took a day off work. I genuinely wasn't feeling that great either, but I intended to speak to my wife about the situation while the kids were at school. The kids all left for school by 7 a.m. My wife came downstairs at 11:45 and seemed very shocked to see me. She asked what I was doing at home, and I explained that I took a sick day because I wasn't feeling well. The first words out of her mouth were, "But we need the money. You don't look that bad." I made a face, and she quickly asked what was wrong and asked if she could get me anything. I asked for a water and we sat on the couch, but soon her phone rang and she went off to the kitchen to talk. She came back a while later and asked if I wanted to get something to eat, and I said that we could make something from the kitchen. She said that she wanted to go out, and I said that we could order takeout, but I wasn't in the mood to go out. The dogs had been sitting by the pantry waiting for their lunchtime enrichment for 10 minutes now, and I asked if she was going to feed them. She flopped down onto the couch and asked me to do it. I said no, so she asked again, and I said no again. She glared at me, but eventually got up and gave it to the dogs. She asked me to take her out again several times, and I kept saying no. I was starting to get a migraine, which I told her, but she kept asking, suggesting we could go shopping, that she could get her nails done and we could enjoy the day together. I refused and said that we had something to talk about, and she said that we would, then went upstairs. She came back down 40 minutes later all dressed up and said if I wasn't going to take her out, she'd go herself. I tried to get her to sit down so we could talk, but she blew me a kiss at the door and rushed outside without even locking it. While she was out, I took some of your advice and canceled the cleaning lady we have. My wife returned home at 8 p.m. Jesus, that's like being out for 8 hours, and immediately asked where dinner was. I told her the kids and I had already ate. She asked where her dinner was, and I told her she'd have to make something for herself. She said she'd just order something, and I told her no. This gave her pause, and she looked at me as if I just told her that she had to starve. She said that she couldn't cook, and I told her that I know she's perfectly capable of making something. We have plenty of food in the house. It's not like she has to be Gordon Ramsay to stick a tin of soup or something on the stove. She left again and returned 30 minutes later with McDonald's just for herself, which, of course, set off the younger kids. Yes, they'd already eaten, but she walked in the door finishing her burger and drink with an empty bag and McFlurry tub. Our youngest asked why she didn't bring her any ice cream, and my wife said, "Daddy said that I wasn't allowed to." I did not say this, and I swear it took more strength than I'd like to admit not to yell at her in front of our daughter.
I'm just gonna say this one part, and I'll give it up to the rest of the crew. Don't you ever weaponize my child. Ever. You just don't do it. You can be mad at me all you want. I'm a grown man. I can take it. But don't use my children as a pawn. Like, that's pissoffery 101. Don't you ever weaponize a kid in favor of you. That doesn't even make any sense what you said. So I knew you was going to go to McDonald's, but don't bring any food home to the kids. When would this conversation ever come up? Like, ever. So I'm gonna keep my mouth shut for the rest of the. That kind of pisses me off when parents do stuff like that. When you can be mad, be mad. Take your madness out on me, because that's what you are. You're mad at me. So take it out on me. I'm right here. But don't try to get the kids on your side. What? No. We're not finna play this. We ain't finna even go down this route. And I don't know. Diz may disagree with me. I don't know. I do attend not to try to fight in front of the kids. I do. You know,
I agree.
But there are some things that I need to be said in front of my kid. Your daddy said that I wasn't allowed to. No, I didn't. I never said a word about that. That conversation never happened.
Well, there I do differ with you there, perhaps, because now you're drawing the children in further. But I mean, I do think you should avoid arguing in front of your children if you can. Someone has to be the bigger person sometimes. It's just what it is. Like you said, your argument is with me. It's not with the kids, right? I think that this is a marriage that is totally unsustainable. And whether he let it get this way or he built it this way or whatever it is, whatever it might have been, right now, he's found his voice and he's sick of it and he's starting to respond. So it ain't going to be neat and it's not going to be pretty. Okay. And the wife wasn't used to this, so she threw a tantrum. So that's what she did. I agree. Don't weaponize my children against me. But even then, I still have to take the right route for myself. And the beautiful thing about children is it's not what they hear from you, it's what they see of you. So the kids already know by looking at their parents who dotes on them and who just deals with them. Kids already know. Mm-hmm. Now, this is a small thing, but, and I granted they got small kids. They got small kids to teenage kids, but
6 to 16, right?
Yeah. But the thing is like, different people have way different ways of raising their children. So it's not this. What I'm about to say is not prescriptive. It's just how I run my family. Mm-hmm. I can come home with food and not give nobody nothing because I'm grown. As long as I know you already ate, I can do that. And my kids are not going to sit there and say, "Hey, Daddy, where's mine?" Well, my teenager might now, but overall, they're not going to say nothing like that, right? Because you don't get to do. I'm very big on just because, yes, you're part of the family, but you don't get to do what the grown folks do, right? And just because your brother or your sister gets something, don't mean that you get something, right? Because there's going to be times where I give you something and I didn't give them something. Are you going to turn around and say that I shouldn't give you something? No, you're not. So let's be real about this. Let's be fair. So I deliberately sometimes give you something and don't give the other one something, and then give you something and don't get the other one something. And then before I leave to go get something to eat, I will tell them, look, I'm going to get me something to eat. Y'all already ate. And because I said that, they're good when I come back, right? Because they know 99% of the time, dad's coming home with so much food, everybody can eat and have leftovers. So it's all about how you guide and direct and develop your family. This is a family that doesn't have structure. This is a family where he thought he could out-earn a relationship. And so when you think that money is going to be the substitute for a real relationship, it's hard for you to then turn around and be upset that the relationship ain't right. You know, like you paid for a maid. You made sure that the dogs got fed in the morning. You made sure that the kids' breakfast and lunch was made. You made sure if it didn't get done, you got it done. It was you. Along this path, you need to have asked yourself, am I doing this because it's what I want to do? Or am I doing this because you won't do it? If I'm doing it because you won't do it, it's like me and my wife have that dynamic. There's certain things she just ain't going to do. She just ain't going to do it. And I can either sit here and be mad about it or just realize, well, then I'm going to do it. Right? But then I can't do that for 10 years and then be like, you know what? You never take the trash out. You know, like, no, that's what I do. At a certain point, you train people how to treat you. Now, this spouse, dead weight, in my opinion, dead weight. Dead weight. Because she's like a pampered princess. But here's what's going to happen. And he knows this is what's going to happen. She going to take him for everything he's got. He will be sleeping on somebody's couch, making $100,000 a year, broke as a joke. And he knows it. And he's a captive to his situation. So now he's starting to lash out and he's trying to do it his way, but he's being in his own way. He's about as messy as she is. Personally, I think she's cheating at this point, but that's just me because I always think somebody cheating. So here it is. I called out from work. You didn't know I called out from work, and you ain't bring your butt downstairs till 11 o'clock in the morning, almost noon. And then it's like, well, let's get out the house. Let's get out the house. Either you are so starved for my attention that you just want to go do something with me, but it doesn't sound like y'all got that kind of relationship. Or you think this is just a free day to go have some fun. I say, have your day. You had your little argument and all that. Nobody's going to agree with this next piece. That money you're using for the maid, get you a private detective and let them monitor your house so you can either prove she up to something or disprove that she's up to something, and then go get your divorce. But just know you about to start over.
Hey, Anna, I'm going to go ahead and play the third video and then...
Oh, I'm sorry. I didn't hear you say how many videos there was. I wouldn't even say that. Sorry.
No, that's okay. And I'm going to go ahead and play the third video, and you're going to be up at the very top of the end of the video.
All right.
Because this one, it just completely goes off the rail, and I'm just going to let everybody know now, it does not get any better.
When the kids were in bed, I asked her to sit and talk about the situation regarding our trips. She asked me if I had rescheduled with my brother, and I firmly told her that no, I wouldn't be. I tried to have a conversation. I explained that I felt our duties were incredibly uneven and that I'd like for her to take on more responsibilities with the kids and the house. She argued that she does enough, and I asked her to make a list. She wrote down laundry, feeding the dogs, making doctor's appointments, and grocery shopping. I brought my own list, and by the way, I make the dog meals. She simply has to give it to them. I also fold and distribute the laundry. And I'm the one who takes the kids to doctor's appointments. And as for groceries, they're ordered through an app on her phone, delivered to the house, and I put them away. She then got up, and I asked what she was doing, and she said she was going upstairs. I didn't argue. I didn't want it to turn into an argument and wake the kids up. She was visibly shaking with anger. A while later, I went upstairs as well. She was on the phone to someone, and when I entered the room, she demanded I leave and go sleep on the couch. I refused and climbed into bed. She hung up the phone and demanded again that I sleep on the couch, and again, I refused. She grabbed me and physically tried to drag me out. This resulted in a fight, and I ended up sleeping on the couch because she was going to wake up the kids again. The following days were much of the same. I've stopped folding and putting away her laundry. I do it for myself and the younger kids, and my two oldest take their piles and put them away themselves. I still cook for the kids, but I've told my wife that she has to make her own meals. Petty, I know. I think my eldest heard us arguing because he asked if he could take the dogs out for a couple of walks with his friends during the week. Thursday night, my wife asked if we could have a drink because I had to leave on Friday to see my brother. I had one drink, but honestly, it went right to my head, and I just wanted to sleep. She kept trying to initiate, but I wasn't in the mood. I woke up Friday morning, and my wife was gone. So was her suitcase. I've texted and called, but there's been no answer, other than a text telling me that we'd talk about it when she's back. She ignored me and went on her trip regardless, and I'm furious. Yo, hold on. You guys think she drugged OP? Falling asleep after just one drink? Alright, that's a little suspicious. I left her some cash in the bank account that she has a card to, but I've removed everything else into my own account. I had to call my brother and explain why I wouldn't be coming to see him, and he arrived here on Saturday with my nephew and two nieces. The house is very full, but honestly, it feels more open than it has in a long time. The kids seem more relaxed, and so do the dogs. I don't know what'll happen with my wife, but I am done. I can't afford a lawyer right now, and unfortunately, I don't know anyone who could give me a deal or do me a favor, but this marriage is over. It should have been over a long time ago.
Hey, Alan, you
They both sound awful. You're right. She wants to be a pampered princess. She is very sad that she cannot be kept in the way that she truly wants. And you're both teaching your children the unhealthy parts of relationships. I am somebody who believes you shouldn't fight in front of the kids. However, you should be able to have disagreements and show them that you can come to a mutual conclusion. This is something that partners do a lot. When I moved in with my different partners, I would immediately ask, who is responsible for what? And that would change, but it sounds like there was never a discussion. There were never any expectations laid out. And of course, you are exhausted as she goes and prances around the city with her friends. Like that. On the one hand, it's not fair. But dude, life ain't fair, and you haven't done anything to truly guide your life differently. And we are all responsible for our own actions, words, and these things have consequences, years-long consequences, especially inaction. that it had to come to this level of you don't do anything. You know, I hope that, unfortunately, you can't afford a lawyer. Start saving. And I understand that in the moment he might have wanted to get the maid service because of his kids. In the moment he wanted to get his kids to the place because it, you know, for some people, this is, it's not a big production. We don't have to be told, hey, this one needs to be at place A, B, and C, and you need to drive them. Obviously, this woman never got the structure taught to her as a child, nor expected to her as an adult. And I unfortunately know quite a few people who have relationships like that. And no, money cannot fill this pit. I think we need to feel that our partners are walking with us in a somewhat similar direction, let's say. Otherwise, what are we doing here? The whole thing is very messed up. And he may very well end up losing everything for years before he gets back on his feet.
If he ever.
If ever, correct. And, you know, although, all right, there may be some crazy love under this, but, you know, why did they get together? You know, it's time for some soul searching in a lot of ways. So that's what I'll say.
Here's what he does.
Hold on, Theo. Real quick. It's weird that they have been together for 17 years, though. Do you think this was always a problem in their marriage, or do you think it escalated out of control in recent years? Now, Theo.
Okay. So I'll speak to Parker's thing. 17 is a long time. And I don't know if this is a situation for him, but he sounds like he desperately loves his children. So that very well could be why he stayed with her when normally you would have found an exit route. So that's one. And then each child resets that clock. Yeah. So 17 years to us on the outside sounds like a long time. For him, it's just another day and forever, right? So there's that. Do I think it was like that always? Who knows? We don't have any information for that. But what could have been is she was working, he was working, and then he got a really good job. And then he told her, baby, why don't you stay home and help focus on the kids? And because now I make enough money that you can do that. And she's like, okay. And that was the deal that was made.
Wasn't it from the first pregnancy?
If we're looking at 17 years marriage and the oldest child is 16, that means that child came in 1 year after the 1 year anniversary.
Yeah, so I'm just speaking like in hypotheticals. But
I thought I remembered in the writing that he was saying she did not have a job from the first child.
Yeah. So then you can have that. That is a little different to me. I was giving you the scenario of like they made a conscious decision and then she just took advantage of it. But it could be, I'm just going to use a term. It could be one of those trad wife situations, you know, and you make good money and she was living as a spoiled person underneath that good money. you did not, or the two of you did not really understand or put together an understanding of what this trad wife thing is, because a true trad wife is really busy. She's working hard at home. She ain't just chilling. But a kept wife, that's a little different, right? That could be your trophy wife situation. And she gave you what you wanted. She's Melania. She gave you the kids. That was the deal. I gave you the kids. Now you make sure I'm good. And you were like, bet I can do that. I got my little pretty woman, and you stay pretty for me, and blah, blah, blah. But and then, you know, it just continued on and whatever. And now you're older, right? You're not looking at each other as two 25-year-olds. You're looking at each other as two 30 or 42-year-olds. And then you're like, wait a minute. I'm getting tired doing all this stuff. You ain't doing nothing. Right? And that's when resentment starts clicking. So where they are, like one of the things that we were talking about with this story, this is the inevitable conclusion of a broken relationship. So the reason why it's messy right now is because things are messy when they're coming off the rails, right? It's just what it is. So I fighting in front of the children, calling each other names, saying how much you do for the other person, but not giving the other person any credit for anything they do for you. That's all natural and fully expected when the relationship is ending. But we like to pretend that, oh no, you shouldn't act like that. No, this is how people act. When the emotions flare up high and you got to defend yourself, or you feel like you got to defend yourself and all this stuff. Yeah. So for him, I would say, all right, bro, you did what you could do on the front end. Now you got to decide how you're gonna unwind this. Now, if you want to protect yourself to any real extent, you pretty much toe the line. And you take constant notes, good and the bad. It's very important. Talking to you fellas out there, and to the ladies, maybe you're in that position.
Yeah.
Constant notes, good and the bad.
Yeah.
So this will be one really serious chapter in your notes, right? We never came to an agreement on this. She left without a moment's notice. She just left. And says she'll talk to me when she gets back. So she abandoned the family. My brother had to come over because we couldn't go on our trip. My brother had to come over and bring his kids. So it's not even like guys' trip, right? We got the kids. And it was a good experience and blah, 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 blah. But just saying, you paint your story. Because when you go to that judge, if you don't have any notes, you can't go in there with your memory. You don't have any notes, dates, times, and events. Then they're going to look at it as, okay, you've established a certain standard of living for this woman. And now you decided that you want to do something different. You can say whatever you want to say your reasons are. That's what you're doing. So you might even get the kids. She going to get alimony.
Yeah.
Right? That's best case scenario. Best case scenario, you get the house, you get the kids, she goes away, she gets alimony. That's best case. Worst case, she get the house, she get the best car, you still paying for both of them, and she get the kids, and you gotta pay for all of them. So that's worst case, and that's probably what he's afraid of. And that's why he needs to have a good lawyer. So like he can get a lawyer, he wants to get a lawyer that's worth something. So yeah, it's a tough situation, and it's a life situation. But hey, I don't know, because I will never be in that type of relationship because I have certain triggers and insecurities and all these different proclivities. So I wouldn't be with a woman that is kept. That's not in my mindset. I can't do it. Even if we got buku money, you doing something, okay? You ain't got to make no money because we got money, right? Don't worry about the money. You got to do something, right? Whatever is your passion in life, Let's find a way to get you in that. All right? Because idle hands, as they say in the Christian church, idle hands is the devil's workshop. We're not doing this. I got to have something going on. You got to have something going on. Ideally, we could have the same thing going on together because we got nothing but time and money on our hand. But that's my mentality. His mentality is obviously different. The relationship ran its course. It got ugly.
All right. Welcome, Tracy, to the show. We're going to go ahead. We got 2 more videos.
Same one?
Same one.
Continue.
I ain't got nothing else to say till we get to the last video.
Right? It get worse.
I'm not going to say absolutely nothing. Don't mean nothing. As soon as something pops in your head, you're going to unmute yourself.
You mute.
Yeah, that means nothing. It's a button. Anyway, this where, and I didn't want to say this because it would give this show away. This is why this is a candidate, Anna.
Mm-hmm.
You already done fell out the plane. Now you done fell into the car. And this when it starts going off the cliff.
In the comments, there are a couple of people trying to defend OP's wife, and OP clarifies that he hasn't seen his brother since before the pandemic, so it's been like, 4 years at this point. Meanwhile, his wife gets to visit her mom, her friends, her sister almost every single day. Then, 6 hours later, OP posted an update. I know a lot of you have suggested that I message her telling her that I'm going to divorce her, but I think that I'm going to play it cool and act like I've accepted her decision so she's not on guard. I know that she said something to my son, but he won't tell me what it is, and I feel like if I push him, he might not ever tell me. I'm not a lightweight. I can drink, but I've been exhausted, and I mean very exhausted for some time now. And I think that maybe that's why I passed out after having 1 drink. But I'd be lying to myself and to you if I said that I wasn't suspicious about that. I'm suspicious about a lot now. Then OP has a long paragraph where he basically talks about how he's thinking about getting DNA tests for his kids, but he's not sure. My brother has read my posts, and he spent the last days telling me everything he hates about my wife. Obviously, not in front of the kids. He's pretty funny, and I feel like I haven't been able to laugh like this in a long time. Writing this update has opened my eyes further. I see how the timing of me wanting her to go back to work almost always ends up with her pregnant. But when this happens years apart and you're concentrating on supporting your family and your brain sometimes pushes these thoughts away until something triggers them again and boom, you're slapped in the face with the realization that your entire relationship is potentially built on a mountain of lies. She has her phone and her iPad with her right now, so I can't check any of that. But I am going to be going through her stuff. Is this an invasion of privacy? Likely. Do I care right now? No. I feel like I've wasted the majority of my life, the good years, and that feels horrible to say when I have 4 kids. I promise I don't mean that my kids are a waste.
Okay. So we're almost done. We're almost done. That's just the setup. So I apologize. You fell in the car. It's teetering on the cliff. It ain't gone over yet. This is the final video for the first hour.
Where a train comes and smacks the car?
Yeah. Anna, believe me when I say this is going into a category nobody is going to see what's coming. A man is telling a story of how he's going to get divorced from his wife because he does almost all the responsibilities in the house and the kids, and the wife doesn't work. Pretty much the story. They got into an argument about her wanting to go on this vacation for a couple of weeks with her friends. The man says he didn't want her to go since he had plans with his brother, but the wife went anyway. Oh, Parker is telling Tracy what's going on so far. But pretty much, okay, so you're right. Adam, you want me to go with it? Okay, cool. This is where the train meets the car.
Then, a month and a half later, OP posted an update. It's taken me a long time to update because, as most of you already predicted, some of my kids aren't mine. My oldest son is mine. My 3 daughters are not. I found out not long after my first update, and while I thought that I could handle the news, clearly my body couldn't and I had a heart attack. Thankfully, my brother was with me and called an ambulance. I'm recovering, but Jesus Christ, it scared me and my family. As some of you may remember, when my ex left for vacation, I took the majority of the money out of the account that she had access to, but I left some because I didn't want to leave her stranded. That money of about $500 or so was gone in a few days. She used her own money that she's been making from OnlyFans to fund her trip. Yes, I'm serious. She has an OnlyFans account. My son had offered to take the dogs out for me and walked in on his mother making content in the living room. She told me that I wasn't making enough money for the family to survive and that she had to do OnlyFans to support us. She told him that I was ashamed and embarrassed and that I would be very unhappy and hurt if he mentioned it. She told him that doing so could ruin our marriage and could lead us to divorce. My in-laws know everything, as my brother had to call them to help watch the kids while I was in the hospital. My father-in-law is furious, and my mother-in-law is just devastated. She keeps apologizing to me like she's the one who betrayed me. My ex moved out. She tried to make me leave so she could stay in the house with the kids, but after a conversation with her father, she's renting a place. My oldest daughter and my son know that the girls aren't mine. My ex told them that after they said they didn't want to go live with her at her new place. My mother-in-law was with them at the time, and according to my daughter, began screaming at my wife for her behavior. My youngest 2 don't know it yet, but they will. This isn't something that I can keep from them forever. They already know that something is up. I've cut my hours back at work, and I've been able to work from home. It's obviously a desk job for now, but I'm thankful to my boss for working with me on this. I came home to find out that my mother-in-law and one of my sister-in-laws had cleared out my wife's hobby space and made it an office/den for me. I am very grateful for their support during this. I know it can't be easy to take the side of your daughter and your sister's ex-partner during a breakup, but I appreciate them. While things aren't great by any stretch of the imagination, I feel strange. Things seem calmer without my ex in the house. There seems to be more laughter about the place. Even the dogs appear to be more at ease. But I am so angry. Which obviously isn't good for my heart, but I've wasted a huge chunk of my life raising kids that aren't mine in a marriage that was screwed from the beginning. Now, please, don't take what I said as me saying that I regret my girls. I don't at all. They're smart, beautiful, cheeky little weirdos that I love with all my heart. But the betrayal stings. The fact that I've been working my butt off for years and she's been making thousands on OnlyFans and been keeping it to herself stings. I'm ashamed, humiliated, embarrassed, angry, relieved. It's a mess of emotions in my head, but I know that I'll get through it. Hopefully. I need to for my kids and my dogs.
So, let me answer this question. Do you think this was always a problem in their marriage, or do you think it escalated out of control in recent years? No and no. The second no is, do you think it escalated? I don't think it escalated. I believe this was a slow con. I don't even think that she was going to do this until after she had the first child. And when she had the first child, it started to put a little seed in her head that, oh my God, this is not bad. I ain't got to work no more. And I know as time goes on, I have more time to myself. I can do whatever I want to. And now I have to plant seeds in my husband. These are the seeds. And OP, I'm really going to get on you, but I'm really not going to get on you because I can't put myself in your shoes at all. I'm with Thea's on that. If there are young kids, infants, running around the house and everything like that, I get you. Understand completely. I really do. Before I say my next statement. I get it. I understand completely what's going on. People who had infants in the house, you know, you could not do half of the stuff that traditional parents are supposed to do. No, you can't. The cooking, the cleaning, and all that other stuff, it's a little harder. When that kid is over there going, I'm gonna scream my head off until you actually come get me. So I really just don't care. The food you cooking, I can't eat anyway. So I don't care if y'all eat. I want to eat. I want to play. I want somebody to be in my face. It's like that.
Mm-hmm.
But OP, as time went on, your wife understood what your trigger was. You said it several times during this story. And every time she knew which button to push. And it was the kids. Because you said it several times during the whole story. I didn't want to argue in front of the kids. She had no problem doing it. She had no problem doing it. But she knew you wasn't going to do it. So she kept doing it. She got used to it. She, when you try to go to bed, try to get you out of the room to the point of putting hands on you. You left. Not because you thought it was the right thing to do, which in some respect should be the right thing to do. You do need to remove yourself from something that could become physical. But that ain't why you did it. I did it because she was going to wake the kids up. She knew that. She knew she's going to get loud enough to wake the kids up. She knew that's not what you wanted. So she knew you was going to drop the whole thing and leave. 17 years, you pick up on what I need to do to get what I want. She had it down pat. Now, let's go to this only fans thing. Apparently, I'm okay to say that now on YouTube. Because damn, this is a lot better than knowing what words he can and can't say. This wife is purely, beyond a shadow of a doubt, trashy as heck. You had your child walk in on you while you was doing it. Are you serious? And then gaslight them to keep it a secret. And all the money that you made from that, you kept to yourself. I don't even have words for you, lady. You're not the worst of the worst that we've had on this show. But you darn near up there, though, bro. You are darn, you really up to being on Mount Rushmore. You don't care about them kids. We already know you surely don't care about your husband. You don't care about this marriage. You just living a life, living a dream on his time. Now, Foxy has a question. So what's the question?
I want to know who the baby daddy. They never addressed that issue. Like,
who's gonna look for him? It ain't gonna be OP.
I was just saying. I want to ask that question. Like, who the heck are the parents to these kids?
Well, this is what I say about the long con. For her to stay at home, for her to not have a child. OP said it in his response. It is funny when every time when he says she needs to get ready to go back to work, she comes up pregnant. It don't matter.
Someone's just sitting there ready to make a baby.
Yep.
So here's my thing. There's the last video, right? This last video?
Yeah.
Cool.
See how y'all muted yourself?
No, I said I was going to talk to the last video. So I ain't say nothing in the prior clip. No. So hey, anyway.
Whoa. Also, let me say this. never, ever put yourself in a situation where it affects your health.
You ain't got no control over that.
Yeah, you do.
Not in this situation.
Yeah,
You
you
have no
do.
control over this.
No, he did. He did.
No,
That's
yeah.
not true at all. That's
No,
not
yeah.
true at all. Yeah, you
How?
did. Because you allowed all of this to happen to begin with, and it's only till you got so frustrated.
That's
And you-
revisionist
Do
history.
do you understand that the only reason he got frustrated, if you listen to the story, the only reason he got really frustrated is that I'm not even gonna go to drug thing because I don't know if he was drugged or not. It looks pretty good, but I don't know. But he was stressed for an abundance amount of time.
Mhm.
Stress will do this to you.
I agree.
And it wasn't until it's from his words, not mine, his words, until she got her bags and left, knowing that I was going to go see my brother. Well, that is enough. Really?
I
Really,
get what
brother?
you're saying.
That was the end point of you going to get a divorce?
Yes. Because up until this, hope will play you false.
It sure will.
Love will play you false.
Emotions.
Emotions definitely will play you false. Especially because this is one of those stories that really is triggering to me because I am the kind of guy. My kids are everything. Right? And I know that's, people be like, well, what about your wife? Yes, I love my wife. My kids are everything. So you can fixate. What you end up doing is when you have a problem with your marriage, you focus on your kids. When you have a problem with your job, you focus on your kids. Your kids are that thing. Like if you go to some people's desk and they got their family sitting right there on the desk, or they got a car on their desk, or they got a house on their desk, that's people training themselves to look at, this is why I'm doing this. This is why I put up with what I put up with. So you do coping mechanisms naturally as a human being. So that's what he was doing. And I can't fault him for that. I can't say that, saying, look, man, you got all this stress because of decisions you made. Yeah, he did, but I can understand how he got there because it comes incrementally, right? And then when a heart attack comes, it's not coming on your schedule. In fact, like he said, I didn't even know it was as bad until the heart attack hit. Because I thought, hey, finally some relief. No. What you think in your head is nothing compared to what is running in your head that you ain't thinking about. All right. The subconscious is far more powerful than the conscious. So this was building up. It was a ticking time bomb. And then he didn't address this soon enough so that the consequences were already coming. They were already on the track. That train was running.
And who knew?
And they hit him when it hit him. Right. So, and then the kids, like, that's his world. I can't even imagine. And then I think when the heart attack hit was after we found out the two kids weren't his. If you built your whole world around your kids and you find out half your kids ain't yours.
Over half.
Well, he's got the two eldest ones are his.
No. No.
I thought he said the boy and the girl were his.
The oldest son is his. The three girls are not.
That by itself is enough for a heart attack. Right? And like Foxy was saying, well, who's the father? First of all, I don't really care, but ultimately they'll get to it because they have to. At least if he's got a lawyer worth half his salt. Because what they're going to find out is, like I said, she cheating. All three of them kids got the same daddy. So she got a whole nother life that he's financing. And her OnlyFans is financing. He is the like they used to say about, or they still say it, I guess, against some people, like when you haven't come out of the closet yet, they call it we're wearing a beard, right? You married this woman. You built this world like you're a happily married couple. You gay as a day is long. Because it's not conducive for you to come out and be who you are. So you have this over here going on. It's a similar thing. She's got to create another world so she can live the life she thinks she wants. But this is the guy who's going to finance her life, right? He's the easy dude. Problem here is he didn't know what was happening. This is foul. It's just really, really, really foul. And now you go to court, he's going to win. You know, he can get as many of the kids as he wants, but he could definitely get the eldest one.
Would he have any kind of chance to claim to the 3 girls?
Technically, he could, because they're going to hit him with child support. They could hit him with child support because the youngest one is 6. That means that's the only father that she's known. So they could hit him and say, you got to take care of these kids, bro. I know it's foul what she did to you, but the kids didn't do that to you. So that's an angle that the courts can do.
He was very adamant about, the kids are still seem to be the light of his life. It does not matter where biologically they came from.
I'm saying that right now.
Yeah, true.
Because I'll tell you right now, it's a hypothetical for me, but I can only imagine, as hard as it would be, and people, y'all can condemn me all you want to, I would end up losing all 3 of those children. And the reason why is because 1, it almost killed me. 2, I don't really have any rights. So unless the courts gives me rights, I have to walk away, because it's the only thing that's going to be safe for them and for me. Right? Because
you would be on the birth certificate, though, would you not?
What's a birth certificate? What's that? It was under false pretenses. I didn't know.
It's a legal
document, but it was done under false pretenses.
Within the marriage,
right? So it'll be a hard fight, but that's why I say he has to have a good lawyer, because a good lawyer is going to go find out who the father is of those children.
Yeah.
Okay? At this point, when it comes to the courts,
he owes child support.
Yeah. At this point, when it comes to the courts is going to do what's best for that child.
That's what they say.
I've seen it happen.
They're going to do what's easiest for the situation. And the easiest thing for the situation is you have been taking care of them. Keep taking care of them, because they're the innocents in all of this. But if you got a good lawyer, which I would imagine he would need to have, we got to figure out who the father of these children is, because he the one need to be paying child support.
Does he even know he has children out there?
I bet he does. I bet he's the father of all 3 of them.
It's just best to know anyway, because they're going to grow up one day.
I think so.
Yeah, but it is best to know, Foxy, but that's her problem. That's not his problem.
Yeah.
And she doesn't see.
That's why I said at the beginning, I wasn't trying to be funny, Parker, when you were saying, where the kids is. I'm the one that's getting screwed over by my wife. I'm not finna investigate.
Yeah, he ain't gonna get hit for back pay, Parker. What he'll do is he'll have to pick it up going forward. You know what I'm saying? Because what was, because there was no child support order in place, so there's nothing really to pay back. You were just taking care of your family. How do we quantify what you did for your kids? But going forward, you need to go to the one who helped father these children and hit him up, because I was lied to. I was tricked this whole time. You know what I'm saying? I was the only one who wouldn't know. But if she's able to keep her secrets well enough, you won't know. He'll have to pay child support. Kind of is what it is. But I'm like, if I got to pay child support, we got to have all my other rights too. We're going to fight for every last one of my rights, because I'm going to continue to raise these babies as mine, because I don't want them only dealing with her. But if I don't have any rights, I got to cut that off, because I will become toxic towards the very children that I love, all due to circumstances out of my control. So it's a really bad situation all the way around. But the one who's the bad guy is the mother. She's the bad guy all the way around. If it was one kid that wasn't his, it's still foul, still a problem. But then you could be like, how do you come clean about something so major? But we're talking about 3 out of 4 kids.
All right, Anna, do you got anything before we go into the second hour?
Foul is the exact right word. It is the whole thing foul. And, yes, he still contributed to the situation, but everything is changed with this background information.
All right, everybody. So across the board, candidate or no candidate?
I still wouldn't put her on there. I don't know. But I get years mixed up.
Worst wife of the year. I mean, I would say candidate. That's pretty terrible.
I don't know who other competitors are. So
What- The story last weekend.
I can't remember.
exactly, they all run together.
Yeah.
So I would start citing stuff that's 2 years old.
4 years. You know what's so funny? And I promise, let me just say this real quick. Because I don't want to hold a discussion about it.
Mm.
We're going to go ahead and get into the second hour. 4 years, going on 5 years of this show. And we can't remember anything about the worst husband, anything about the worst wife. But do you know how terrible of a human being, not a person, a human being, that all of us still remember that nurse after all these years? Do you know how bad of a human being you are that the nurse is still the only person on that Hall of Fame? On that,
So I don't remember the nurse as well as I remember the little girl who was dealing with cancer, who had the stepfather and the stepbrother. That one I remember.
Oh yeah,
I
The
remember
little
that
girl
one.
whose father left her and then came back and wanted to fight her over the house. I remember them.
Last week was actually a worst mother candidate because the Am I a Mistake?
Afra is
Hey,
here.
Afra.
Hey, Afra.
Yeah, that one was the dad who was like, "Well, I'm gonna tell her that she was a mistake." Yeah, I don't like that one. You were supposed to be
Right.
dead. I ain't know.
The worst political video is Linda Parson.
I like that one. Rapping Granny.
Wrong year.
I think that was last year, but yeah.
Yeah.
All right, everybody, we're going to go ahead and get into our second hour. If you're new here, 3-minute break. So we're going to take a break to reboot and refresh. And like I said, we're kind of full on the other side, not completely. Am I the a-hole? Positive story of the week. Anna, be ready for that. Mafia video of the week and Foxy video of the week. 3-minute break to reboot. And went cool.
Nope.
Go straight on into it. 3-minute break to reboot and refresh, and we'll see everybody on the other side. Stay tuned.
Living for weekends, wishing I could take a break from this world. Running on a hamster wheel, but searching for something I can't feel. I just wanna be a lost girl and fly. Take a breath, feel my wings spread, levitate above the ground and make eye contact with clouds. Now I'm rising, I'm soaring above it all. I just wanna be free, finally, finally.
back, and without further ado, let's go ahead and pay those bills. Gonna make it last forever. Radical Truth to Power at 8 p.m. Eastern Standard Time. A special additional Radical Truth to Power. It will be produced by none other than Baby Mafia himself, Parker, who has not only come up with the videos, but has also come up with the topics for tomorrow. So I appreciate Parker. Please do not forget to go to patreon.com/Tracy Media Fan. Help support Tracy in all of her endeavors. Please do not forget to go to Anna Hart's website, BorelliEtc.com. Learn something that you didn't think you need to know, but you should. Please do not forget to go to Theus's website, OurUnitedCore.com. Communities build movements. And if you need to reach me, you can do so at radtp@outlook.com. That's RADTP@outlook.com. And let's go ahead and get into the Mama Heart Hour. I've been here since the beginning, but dozing off. Hey, you know, there's a lot of videos
tuning in.
that yeah, I appreciate you tuning in, because there's a lot of videos that are background noise to me now that you know, hey, you know, I'm under that subconscious thing, like they're saying stuff in the background, and then I go up and go, "Ooh, I heard about such and such and such and such. Where did I hear that from? I don't remember." But it was subconsciously put in my head because I fell asleep on somebody else's stuff. But anywho, am I the a-hole? If you haven't already, please hit that like button. I truly appreciate it. Only for the fact that if you wasn't here for the first hour, I don't know what to tell you, man.
Now I see you guys right now, but whenever you do the video from your side, it says video unable to launch or something. But when you did the the actual thing,
The title?
no, like when the r/ things, right? I can see those. It's only when you do the ones that are like your stuff.
Wow, that's
It's weird. I don't know. StreamYard don't like me.
If you haven't already, please go ahead and hit that like button. I truly appreciate it. That will allow the algorithm on YouTube to let everybody know, or more people know, that we are live. So I truly appreciate doing that. At the start of the show, I said we was at 673 subscribers. We are at 674 subscribers. So we literally are picking up subscribers as time goes on. So I would ask you, if this is your type of content, this is the loose, nice version of the show. We are really a political based channel. Just to let you know that. That's how Radical Truth to Power started. I just created Saturday Night Vibe to be more laid back and everything else, and then realized that ain't gonna happen because I've come subjects that's just too deep. But whoever subscribe to us, I appreciate it. But this channel is growing. I appreciate everybody who has subscribed. I appreciate everybody who's been here from the very beginning. I appreciate everybody who's come into the middle, and I appreciate everybody who's now coming in at the end point of it. Thank you very much. Thank you for helping this channel grow. I really, really appreciate it. But anyway, without further, so at the beginning of the show, I also said this is Foxy's thing. I did have a worst wife of the year candidate. I asked Foxy, should I keep the theme at worst wife, or should I balance it out with a candidate for worst husband? She said, let's balance it out with a worst husband. So that's what I'm going to do. This is also a candidate for worst husband of the year. Me and the panel will vote on it to see if he sticks in or nah. I've heard worse, but Let's go and get into it. Left at the hospital.
This happened 2 months ago, but it's still causing major friction in my family, so I need some outside opinions. I, 29 female, and my husband, Jake, 32 male, have been together for 6 years, married for 3. We were both ecstatic when we found out we were expecting our first child. Pregnancy was tough for me, though. I had severe morning sickness, gestational diabetes, and was generally miserable. But Jake was supportive and sweet the whole way through, which made it bearable. As we got closer to my due date, we discussed birth plans. I was adamant that I wanted Jake in the delivery room. I needed his support, and he had always agreed. However, a few weeks before my due date, Jake started acting strange. He was distant, distracted, and wouldn't engage in any baby-related discussions. I thought he was just anxious about becoming a dad, so I didn't press him too much. The day I went into labor, Jake drove me to the hospital, but seemed off. He was quiet and kept checking his phone. When we got there, he pulled the nurse aside and spoke to her privately. She came back and told me that Jake wouldn't be in the delivery room because he was uncomfortable with blood and medical procedures. I was stunned. He'd never mentioned this before. I begged him to stay, told him I needed him, but he just kept saying, I can't do this. What the? I was heartbroken and furious, but I didn't have much time to dwell on it as my contractions were getting stronger. Jake said he'd be in the waiting room and kissed me on the forehead before leaving. I was left alone, crying and feeling utterly abandoned. Labor was long, painful, and traumatic. I was alone the entire time except for the medical staff. When our son was finally born, I was exhausted emotionally and physically. The nurse handed me my son, and all I felt was a deep sadness that Jake wasn't there to share this moment. After I was taken to a recovery room, I asked the nurse to get Jake. She came back and said that he had left the hospital hours ago. I couldn't believe it. I called him repeatedly, but he didn't answer. Finally, I sent him a text saying I was done and he could find his own way home. I didn't see him until the next day. He showed up at the hospital with flowers and an apology, saying he had panicked and needed some air. He claimed he'd gone home to shower and change and fell asleep, which I didn't buy for a second. I told him I don't believe him. I was overwhelmed with anger and hurt, and I told him he had let me down in the worst possible way. He kept apologizing, saying he knew he had messed up and he'd do anything to make it right. I don't think you get a do-over on this one, buddy. I didn't want him near me or our son at that moment, so I asked him to leave. He tried to protest, but I told him that I needed time to process everything. He left, and I spent the rest of my hospital stay alone with my baby, trying to grapple with the enormity of what had happened. Since then, Jake has been trying to make amends. He's been taking parenting classes, attending therapy, and is constantly trying to be present and supportive, but I can't shake the feeling of betrayal. He abandoned me at one of the most vulnerable moments of my life. Every time I look at him, I remember being alone in that delivery room, terrified and in pain, wondering why the person who promised to be by my side wasn't there. My family is split. Some think I'm being too hard on Jake, that he made a mistake and is clearly remorseful. They say he's a good father and partner otherwise, and I should focus on moving forward for the sake of the child. Others think what he did was unforgivable and I should leave him. They believe I'll never truly trust him again, and that's no foundation for a marriage. I'm torn. I do still love him, and I know he loves me and our son, but a part of me wonders if I'll ever get over this. Was it just a moment of weakness on his part or a sign of something deeper that I can't overlook? So, am I the astronaut for leaving him at the hospital and now considering?
All right, I'll run through it real quick. So, I would liken this to someone cheating on you. You need to be honest with yourself and say, it's not, are you able to get past this? No. Are you able to let him get past this? If your answer is no, then it's over. But if the answer is it'll be hard, but I can see eventually letting him get past this, then you have a chance. Because from what you said, the dude just ain't good with being in a hospital, around a hospital, anything got to do with a hospital. And then seeing you, like, it'd be blood and everything else. It's just, that ain't everybody ministry. Let's just be real. And I know society says he should be in the room and all that. And that's cool. I mean, I was, but that was me. I don't have those hangups. So, okay. So if he had been in the room, what he would have done, he would have blacked out, and then the staff would have had to send somebody to take care of him and all that. Then how would you feel about that? I mean, you probably wouldn't have been. Yeah, you probably wouldn't have been as mad, but you still might have felt some kind of way. The fact that he panicked so much that he ran away from the hospital, That's extra. But then he said that you said that he's in therapy for this and that he's taking classes
Yeah.
and all those aren't the actions that someone who's just a flake would take.
Yeah.
Right. So it's just a question of is your relationship strong enough to get through this? And that's the only decision that you can make. Your family can't help you with this one because both sides are right. One side is saying, "Hey, you found his weakness. This ain't his thing." But look at everything else. Look at the entirety of your relationship. You never even said you think he's cheating on you, so that's not even part of your situation. It's this. It's the abandonment. So take in the whole thing, decide what you can do, and then move accordingly. But don't listen to your family, because I've been there before. You listen to your family, you're getting advice from your friends and your family, and then you take what makes the most sense off of what everybody's saying. In my case, I know it's ain't everybody. That ain't the way to do it. Because what happens is, even though you might have come to the same decision, you will always use it as a crutch. And you will say, I did this because they said. What do you say? And then own it.
Hella?
That's a trauma, for sure. For both of them, different degrees. It's one of those, you really never know until you're in the moment just how adverse you can be. Like you can know, like, oh, I don't like to see blood. And then you go find out you're the kind that completely faints away. Or you go and you go, oh wow, I actually found some strength to get through it without fainting. Cool. It's the fact that you left the hospital. That to me speaks of the trauma that he was in that night. So there was a whole bunch happening with both partners while that new life was being brought in. It's not really someone's fault, but the feelings were felt, and you have to deal with what comes next. If it were me, immediately when I heard dude's taking classes, he has really tried and is putting in every effort, I immediately went towards he's trying. Conciliatory?
Well, you're doing the compassionate side. Me personally, I would have
Compassionate?
said, yeah, that's great. I'm glad you're taking classes. You'll be a great father. You ain't gonna be with me though, because it changes who you are. But that's me. Like, I can speak to the other side. I can be compassionate and understanding as what I was saying. It's all
Mhm.
true. But at the end of the day,
Uh-huh.
my decision would still come back to you are not the same person. So
Right?
now I won't allow you, me, Theus, would never allow you to become something truly different than what I have now viewed you to be.
Okay.
So you can be a great father, and I'll never get in the way of you being a father.
Okay.
But I now know you can never be my partner.
Cool. Cool for you.
That's me. But that's why
Yep.
when I spoke, I didn't say it like that, because that might
Right.
not be your world.
That's a very personal decision, and as you said, take the family decisions out of it. You need to be searching and going on how are you feeling? Can you live with it? Can you forgive him what is actually a natural reaction. You could say it's a fault in the most human beings who were slower got taken to evolution, let's say. It's like finding out that your partner is not the one to protect you, is not the one to pull out a gun and be that shield wall between you and danger. Some people need that in their partner. Some need an exchange, if you will. You know, we're all different. It's can we allow and forgive each other our shortcomings, or did that irreparably break your trust? And that is a really fundamental issue in every relationship.
And it's a hard one because you don't know right now.
Right.
You
This
have no
may
idea.
take time.
Mhm.
Like, you know, you may have been reconciled. Nope, the relationship is over. As romantic partners, we are now parents. You know, we shift lane. Like I said, when I am looking through it, I am still in a searching. And I know the trauma of abandonment by a different family member, but it's tough. But you also find out things about you.
Well, I mean, I think part of what made this worse is when he's like he went home and went to sleep. I mean, that sounds like
Yeah,
a small
that
thing.
whole
Sound like a small thing, but
no,
to the other
no.
person, no. The reason why I say it sounds like a small thing is because if you factor in his alleged state of mind,
Mm,
it means his body was running high.
yep,
So when he got to his home, and that's a safe surrounding, his body shut off.
he crashed.
Right?
Yep,
So it's actually logical
yep.
that he fell asleep,
Mhm.
but it doesn't help your story
We don't.
because all I
We're
know is
not
I ain't get a
logical
chance to go to
beings
sleep.
in the moment of feelings. We are not logical beings in the
No,
moment.
yeah, the only person who knows what you were doing after you left this hospital is you.
Yeah,
So that's the other
and
thing. So
that will be a seed of doubt for sure. Like, you know, but so that there is no right or wrong. I think answer to whether you give the relationship a try or you say it's over. You know, just is he the worst husband of the year? Or are we saying like worst
Candidate.
partner?
Candidate.
So I wouldn't even give him a candidate because for some reason the way she told the story gives him an air of legitimacy. Right?
Yeah.
Can you explain what you're meaning there?
The way she told the story made him a sympathetic character. So it wasn't like she said he just ran off and I found out he was with my sister or something, something,
Okay.
something, something.
Okay.
So she actually kind of made him a sympathetic character and that he had a mental reaction.
Because she loves
And
them.
yeah, I mean, we all got people, most of us got people in our past we love, and we ain't gonna tell that story like that. But that's why I say he wouldn't be a candidate because
Mhm.
I think from the little that she shared, he is trying to legitimately, like, I screwed up. I don't know how I would have avoided screwing up, but I did screw up and I want to do this right. And sometimes when we don't know, you often have heard me say you gotta give people room to grow. So this could be that catalyst, that thing that flips inside of him. And now he is that one that if he hears a sound, he's running to it. He is that one that will literally fall down on the sword for his loved ones. It was just, he had a test and he failed the test. And for some people, that's enough to be like, I will never fail another test. For as long as I live, I'll never fail another test. And for others, you just exposed, okay, well, this is not something you should rely on. Like this guy don't do that. He might cook, he might clean, he might be the most wonderful companion. He may be all those things, but he ain't defending nothing. It's like the lady with the dogs. You just found out this ain't his ministry. This ain't his calling.
Yep.
And then it's funny. This is one thing that just hit me. He's in a really dark, really bad position because of the actions we know that he took. But had she gone into labor while he was on a business trip and had the baby without him, she wouldn't have felt abandoned. Because there's a justifiable reason for why he wasn't there. Same guy that would have freaked out and did all this. But he's not going to get the rap because there's a reason why he wasn't present. He has to deal with this because he was present.
Yeah.
And then left.
All right, let me go backwards. Let me start at the end to go to the beginning.
Okay.
And thanks to Anna and Thea because they added a whole bunch of contents at the end. I had my answer already ready, and then they just threw some stuff in. He went home, took a shower, and fall asleep. And this is coming from me, Marlon. This is my thoughts. He went home and took a shower, and he fell asleep. I don't think that happened at all. I really don't. You may have taken a shower, you may have went home, but I don't think he fell asleep. You just worded it so wrong that you just can't believe that I'm not going to tell my wife that I went home and took a shower and I just don't have the meaning to go back to that hospital because it frightens me so much. You was worried about your wife so much, but you can't say, yeah, I was at home and I was up all night just really concerned and hoping that you was going to be okay. I just could not go back to that hospital, but I stayed up all night until I heard that baby was born. And now I'm ready to go. Your processes of thinking was not correct. I can't say that. I fell asleep. Ooh, that's a lot worse. Now let's go back one step further, one step back. There are people who just are not good with crisis. They're just not. It's just not in their DNA. We've heard so many people who was non-confrontational, which is about the same thing. Like somebody's doing you wrong, but you don't want to argue with them. You just, hey, let's talk calmly, let's talk coolly. And then you have somebody that's yelling in your face and everything else, and you just like, hey, I'm just gonna walk away. Because I don't do confrontation. That's just me.
He said he was going to be there.
And that's number 3. If you are not that type of person when it comes to crisis, you need to communicate to that woman that I can't do this. I can't be in the delivery room with you. And what I'm so mad at you, the husband, so much about is, okay, you can't be in the delivery room. That's just not your thing. Then OP would have had plenty of time to find somebody else as your replacement. But you took that out of her hands. Shake your head all you want to.
No, I get what you're saying. That's a logical thing, but it's not a realistic thing.
I'm going to tell you why I said what I said. Because at one part of the story, she said, we sat down and came up with a delivery plan.
Mm-hmm.
That was your time to say, Well, I'm gonna let you know I'm not gonna be in that delivery room. I
But he
can't
might not
handle
have, he
it.
might not have believed that about himself yet.
No, I don't need you to try to rough shot yourself through this.
Yes, you do.
No, you don't.
Here's
No,
why I'm
you
gonna
don't.
say you do. Here's why I say you do. Right? Because you're using logic, pure logic. I'm just saying this is a
This is his
situation
first
where
time.
there is no right
Then
time.
use this word. Maybe.
Well, maybe it just creates ambiguity and you still end up in the same place.
But the ambiguity is still the end. The end doesn't justify the means.
I'm not justifying anything, bro.
No.
What I'm saying is you are with your lady. It's the most exciting time of your relationship.
Mm.
And you're talking about hypotheticals. You're planning for what's coming. So it's all excitement and you want to believe. In fact, you probably believe you'll be okay and all this stuff. And then you might have a little twinge in you that says, bro, you know you don't like hospitals. Your uncle died in the hospital. You ain't good at hospitals or whatever. But you still like, this is my baby and she's having my baby and I got to be there. And there's no good way to say to the woman who's about to bear your child, hey, yo, you're going to have to run this one alone. You think your mama can come instead? Like, there's no good time to say that one. So you don't want any stress in her world. You don't want anything. You believe the best of yourself. I will be there. And then the day comes, right? And then you get there and you're like, now what he should have done, I know it's easy for me to say, is go in that room and black out. But
let me stop you right there. This is the problem that I have. And this is the I'm not going to use the word man up. I hate that word.
We understand the context that you're using.
Yeah, I get it, but it stings because it's so. You didn't even have the gumption. I ain't gonna say
gumption. You got a classic term.
Well, I try not to say you didn't have the balls, but you didn't even have the balls to tell your wife face to face. You told a nurse to tell your wife about something that you was 50% on for I don't even know how long into the pregnancy. You didn't even tell your wife. You told a nurse to tell your wife.
Because if he walked in the room, he blacked out. I'm with you that he's wrong. I get you. Yep. I'm with you that he's wrong, but he's wrong because of his mental issues. But he's wrong. He's still wrong. It doesn't undo what you did. Like, that's one of the things, like, when people say, well, you know, he's got this or that behavior issue or mental issue or whatever. That helps me understand the person. It doesn't change.
It puts me into that category of
it should release a little bit of blame, but not responsibility.
Exactly. It doesn't eliminate that it happened.
Yeah.
Right.
But it puts him in the category of this. I, speaking for myself, you will make a great father. And all the steps that you're making, parenting classes, going to therapists, will make you a great father.
Perhaps.
Will not make you a great partner. Because I, at this point, cannot trust you within a crisis. And I need to trust my partner in a crisis, either to handle the crisis or to back me up within a crisis. And I can't see you as that person anymore.
That's what I'm saying. It changes who you are.
And by the way, let's go back to the family thing. Talking to outside family.
Oh, yeah.
We have to keep in contact. It popped in my head as we was talking too. I don't think OP was saying or was projecting that half the family was on his side, half the family was on her side. They may not ever speak to them, as my family would do. We have dynamics in our family where the story is told and we like, nah, that's wrong. Or, yeah, I can see that happening. Well, I was actually speaking to the players, the main players of the story. Like, we're just saying what we would say. If I hear something and I'm going, bro, that's messed up. That's fine. That's the dumbest thing I've ever heard. Foxy ain't gonna go back and go, yeah, my husband said that was the dumbest thing. Like, she's not gonna say that. She's not gonna do it. And vice versa. she's not gonna go back and go, yeah, mama said that was the dumbest thing.
Oh, that wasn't what I was saying, bro.
Go to hell and burn in fire and flame. Like, no. We have a dynamic where something was said, and I think and as I say that, but then I think, why did you put that in the story? Because it was part of the story. But I don't think it was part of their lives where she's going to the husband and going, yeah, you got 2 people and I got 3.
I don't know about you, but
3 people, but I got 5 people. So,
that's not what I got from it. What I was saying is that was part of her support system.
Yeah.
And her support system was like, yo, that was foul. You got to go. And the other part was like, understand how you feel, but consider this.
Yeah. So, but I'm gonna go with the panel. It's not up there as worst husband of the year. It's too many moving parts. It's not only is it too many moving parts, it's too many continuings, updates, things like that. And like I said, and I go with what you said, Thea, is he's going in the right direction, and maybe he will become a good father. But being a good father doesn't make you a good partner. And even me saying being a good partner means you may not be a good partner for her. You may be a good partner for somebody else. It's just not her.
Perhaps. Yeah.
A lot of things could be fixed after the situation. And
some people have a much higher threshold for forgiveness.
Mm-hmm.
I'm not a very forgiving person. So I already know that even if I try to forgive you, I won't treat you 100% right. And then by the time I work through my issues, I would have caused new harm to you. Right? You were trying to do right by me, but I was so hurt by it that I am now been harmful towards you. So the relationship still ends. It just ends for a different reason, right? It would have ended before because of what you did. Now it's ended because of what I'm doing. Because even the person who was wrong can only take getting kicked in the butt so many times. What happened?
What's that?
Foxy just
It makes me sad inside. I don't like it.
I don't like it, is what she said. Oh.
I couldn't hear what she said. I'm sorry.
She being silly.
She said, I don't like it.
I don't like it. I'm
still lost. Okay.
Well, yes, Foxy, can you elaborate? What don't you like?
I know it's just part of human nature, but I don't like the fact that when we hurt, sometimes we don't know how to express and not hurt our partner. You know what I'm saying? I know that that's just part of learning your partner, learning how to communicate and not transfer that hurt without. I mean, because sometimes some situation you just got to have the tough conversation. It's gonna be hurtful, but I don't like it.
That's the definition of tough conversation.
I know.
Not only the tough conversation, the tough conversation is, in a manner of speaking, the easy part.
No.
Yeah, because the tough part it's tough because it's a tough conversation.
Right.
Fox either needs her own podcast or appear on the camera.
I concur. Not her own podcast. She just needs to come on.
Yeah.
See, I would come on, but I'm always so busy when he comes on. Like I have to cook for Sunday dinner.
Oh.
You're so sweet because when he's recording, you there. Like you.
I know.
I take breaks.
I'm supportive.
Like for instance, like I'm taking a break right now, right? So I'm going down. I'm cooking for Sunday dinner. I always cook for my dad. It was his 1 year anniversary without my bonus mom is coming up. So like every Sunday, I've been making him dinners when I cook for us. Even on Sundays, like Marlon's making chili for us tomorrow. My dad can't really eat chili because he's a heart patient, his blood pressure, diabetes. So he has to have like healthy food. So
Whoa. First of all, what the hell are you saying? My chili ain't healthy?
Chili is not healthy, brother. It's the
My
salt.
chili's healthy?
There is sodium in chili that a heart patient.
You're gonna
cannot
replace his
have.
food. You're gonna replace my chili with liver?
he's having liver, collard greens, and maybe even broccoli.
Okay, wait a minute. I'm
Very
trying to figure out how
high
this
in-
got healthier.
That's terrible.
Because
That's terrible.
Liver is very high in vitamin B and
I don't
other.
care if
Yeah.
liver is very high in wishes.
And he likes
I'm
it.
not replacing chili with
He
liver.
likes it though.
You don't have to.
and collard greens, if you make collard greens healthy, they're not collard greens no more. It's wet
It's
salad.
collard greens. Look, I use smoked turkey breast. So I mean turkey wings. I cannot have them crunchy. So if that's what you're referring to, they're gonna be as healthy
You're
as
talking about the heart condition, Tracy. But yeah, I hear you.
Dentists eat chili all the time. It's different. It's a heart condition.
Yeah. Sodium.
And my chili could be life.
Yeah, I'm pretty sure your chili is pretty good, Tracy. But you're not having that.
But either way, my mom's gonna come by and get some of that chili anyway.
That's
So
good.
anyway, sorry. Let's move on. Positive story of the week. Oh, I cannot wait to get Thea's take on this next story. I've been waiting a week because this was last week I put it on, but we got really busy. But I can't wait to get Thea's take on this. It humbles my soul. So let's go ahead and get into it. Paying off debt.
In 2015, I was struggling big time with my mental health. I won't go into details, other than to say that one night, I decided that my life wasn't important, and I tried to end it. My amazing roommate took me to urgent care, where my life was saved. From there, I was sent involuntarily to a behavioral health center. I was super young and vulnerable. I just turned 19, and I had no idea how to navigate the healthcare system. And I didn't want my parents to know, so I was on my own. The doctors and police who sent me to the facility promised that it took my insurance. In hindsight, I should have checked at the facility, but I didn't know better. Eventually, I did tell my parents. I was released, dropped out of college to heal with my family, and that was when my parents told me that the bill for both my ER visit and the facility had arrived. That's when I learned that the facility either didn't take my insurance or covered very little. Because I was so fragile at the time, my parents didn't tell me any details other than it was a lot, insurance wasn't covering it, and that they'd handle it. I remember how stressed my mom got every time another bill came in. Every time this happened, I would think that it would have been better if I had just died that day. And then, one day, my mom comes to tell me that my debt was gone, forgiven. I was blown away. When I asked, she said someone had bought the debt and forgiven it. That's it. No more details. I think there was a name of the company that bought it, but I don't remember the details. Y'all, this blew my mind. It felt like someone had taken this horrible burden that I had stuck my family with and wiped it away. It was like I was being given permission to keep living, like I'd been given a fresh start. The timeline's a bit fuzzy, but a couple of months or so later, John Oliver aired the story about medical debt on Last Week Tonight. If you don't know, he essentially purchased and forgave $15 million of medical debt. I wanted to cry. Obviously, I have no idea if it was him or some random stranger. Part of me wants to know because whoever did that gave me a fresh start. I got my first job, went back to college, and now I'm married and just had my first kid. No matter who did it, I'm forever grateful. They literally changed my life.
One of my response to is it's a good story. There's a lot of little things in there that I want to pull out for other people. It wouldn't apply to him because you or him or her, because you process it how you process it when you're going through depression or whatever. But there are a lot of things in there that told me that this person is still needs a lot of care, because you're still blaming yourself for having suicidal ideation, right?
Yeah.
So keep going to therapy and get underneath that and figure out what that is, right? America, for those who don't know, in America, the number one reason for declaring bankruptcy is medical debt.
Medical debt. Yep.
Number one,
Mm-hmm.
right?
Mm-hmm.
So
you are one illness away.
yeah, and my homeboy used to tell me, and this is different, but my homeboy used to tell me that you are just one firing and one no from homelessness. All right, lose your job, your friends or your family say no, and now you're on the street. That's how quick it goes. So, this person was going through things. It was a young person, thought about ending their lives. I was around the same age when I thought about ending mine, and he or she came out of it, but it came out of it, I think, still broken. And the debt doesn't help. But the concern that I have reading the story is you still intertwining the debt with yourself. So it's like, it would have been better if I wasn't here. What? So you wouldn't have debt? You know what I'm saying? Like, really, when you think that one through, there's no amount of debt that's worth your life. Okay, you can stack all the debt.
You have to understand that there's not the process of thinking.
Now I agree
that if I was not alive, I wouldn't have debt.
No,
it's
I agree.
More of what they're thinking is, if I wasn't alive, I wouldn't be putting this debt on my parents. Right. They wouldn't be going through this.
I hate to see the financial strain go across their face every single month.
Right. You see your mom sad and upset and frustrated, and that's because of me.
No, I understand. I understand the reasoning 100%. 100% I understand it. I'm saying past this person to those out there who might come across this, right? Who aren't in that moment right now, but you're on the precipice. I need you to think it through. See, this person, I can't talk to them like this. Right. This person this is part of their mental health journey at this point. I need them to get help, to help them unravel that part, to have an experienced, directed, safe space, a clinical safe space to go and dig deep and look at this. This isn't something you go look at by yourself all willy-nilly. You need that help. You need a guide, I guess is the way I'll put it. But for those people out there who wrestle with the darkness, is the way I'll put it. You're not in the darkness right now, so that's what I'm talking to. If you're in the darkness right now, I'm not talking to you. Ignore me, because this ain't for you right now. You wrestle with the darkness, so you're not in the darkness. I'm telling you, there's no amount of debt ever that is worth your life. None. Let it stack. Let it run. I don't care if you got $1 million in medical debt. Okay? If you ain't got no money, $10,000 in medical debt is no worse than $10 million in medical debt. You can't pay it no way. And money is all a fabricated value set that we've put together. It's numbers on a screen. It's numbers in a book. You're worth more than that every time. I'm not trying to upset you, sis. I'm talking to those people out there. Because, see, we get conflated. See, I don't know. I was talking to a loved one recently. People don't always understand. I have what you would call undiagnosed depression. I ain't never been to no professional, but I know what I've been through. And I know that there was a time where I didn't think my life was worth anything because they took my daughter from me. And when you took my baby from me, you took my only reason to live from me. Who am I without her? That's a big reason why, if you really know me, why I have some of the triggers that I have and why I'm so deathly attached to my children is because of that trauma, right? But one of the things that taught me, and this is me, this ain't the same for everybody. What that taught me was I got to that very dark, lonely place. And if you've never dealt with depression, if you've never truly dealt with depression, you don't understand what I'm saying. But if you have, you know what I'm saying. When you get to the place where there's light all around you, but you don't get to have any of it, everything about you is darkness. That's a hard place to be. What I learned from myself is even when I got down there, it's almost like Dante's Inferno. It's like the layers of hell. You're just going downward. But here's the thing: as you're going down, and I hope this helps you. At each step that you go down, each layer, you know who's with you? You are. See, if people will tell you, and they mean well, you know, Jesus is with you. If you believe that, great. I believed that when I was going through it. It didn't help me. What helped me is I hit that, and immediately I was like, wait a minute, bro. No. And that moment was all it needed for me to start to climb back out, even though it took many years, and I still wrestle with it to this day. But you start to come back when you realize no matter how far down you go, you're going down there with you. I need you to love you. Whoever this can touch, I need you to love you. Because if you can hold on to you, you can put everything else back together. You can find your way back to God. You can find your way back to your parents. You can find your way back to your friends. As long as you remember that you got you. And I think that's a very important thing for people to understand, because it's really hard when you're in there. And then, like me, I just came out of a depressive cycle. So one of the things I like, people who have gone through it, they usually can relate to what I'm about to say. When you've gone through a few cycles, you start to recognize when it's coming.
Mm-hmm.
Okay, your day is normal, everything's fine, and then you'll just like get a whiff, and you're like, oh hell, here it comes. Right? And as long as you can recognize, because if you love yourself, that's what I'm saying, love yourself. If you love yourself, yourself is going to say right back to yourself, hey bro, this is what's coming. It's coming. And there's nothing you can do to stop it. And I need you to be empowered by this. There's nothing you can do to stop it. People who mean well and don't know, they're going to tell you that we just go do this, or let's go just do that. Go with them, do it. It's fine. It's good to stay in motion. But there's nothing you can do to stop that darkness from coming. What you can do, though, is decide how long that darkness is going to be here and what you're going to do in it. So you can say, oh, darkness is coming. I'm going to treat you like an old friend. All right, you're here. I'm not going to make no decisions. This is what I say to myself every time when it starts a cycle. I will make no decisions. I will not react to any of my triggers. And I will get through this. That doesn't make it easy. But just those things are super important because, one, you are not going to make good decisions. You're not. You're not at your best place. You ain't going to make good decisions. Whatever decision you're about to make, don't make that one. Okay? I mean, it's like, because there's a darkness inside of you that's telling you that you're not worth it. You're not this. You're not that. You know? But remember who you were before you went in. And that person that you were before you went into that dark place, that person knows. That person knows. And they're with you still right now. Because they know what will happen to the people that you love if you're not here.
That right there, that last statement.
Well, I mean, it's important, but you have to know this before the darkness comes.
Yeah.
Because when the darkness comes, it's too late. You can't see that.
When I have some depression moments, Saturday Night Vibe was created out of depression. Just let's be real about it. It may not be as hectic as the reason why I came it up, but when I know beyond a shadow of a doubt, the stuff that we was talking about stayed on my heart for weeks. The 3-hour show, y'all say it's long, but we're talking about a 3-hour show that depressed the hell out of me for a week. From the time we got off to the time we went on next Sunday. And I'm like, I can't do this. I can't do this. It's important information. It's an important topic. It's serious situations that will affect the lives of millions of people. I get that. I do. But what happens when I crash? I'm not making a show. So that's out. Foxy looking at me like, so you're just going to go to work and come home and do nothing. Or worse, you're going to come home and do the important stuff. 20 years. She knows when there's no light behind my eyes. She knows who I really am. I'm not going to do that to her. I'm going to speak up for myself. Now, that's Foxy. Now, I still have my kids. Now I have my grandkids. I can't do it. I can't do it. So instead of manning up and sucking up and all this other stuff that we went through, and I know it's toxic now, but don't bullshit yourself. You knew that was the words that was said way before the pandemic happened to always man up. You know. Don't bullshit. You knew that was always the thing. Man up. Suck it up. Cowboy up was brand new because you ain't going to tell nobody in North Carolina cowboy up because we're going to look at you like you're stupid. What the hell is cowboy up mean? Like, whatever.
It's been around for a long time.
So I took a different route. I said, you know what? There was one thing that I heard that I thought was crazy, but it's not. Lively your life up, folks. There are people where they would say, if you're sick and everything else, put on the stupidest, silliest, nonsensical movie you could put on and just watch it. It has to make no sense.
Zoolander, best movie ever. Everybody
Zoolander, Spaceballs. Oh my God. It just put on something that has absolutely, positively nothing to do with your life. Nothing. Nothing political, nothing social. And I apologize to you. But if you can watch Zoolander and Spaceballs and I can't use that movie because it was kind of social, but it was funny as hell. But just put on something that's go find you an old Three Stooges 15-minute clip TV show. That don't make no sense worth at all. But now you may fall down a rabbit hole going, oh, that's violent. But what? Okay, find something else. Laurel and Hardy did. I don't care. Just find something that is away from your reality. The reality of your life is going to be there. It's going to be there. It's not going to go away. But you ain't got to be in it from the time you wake up to the time you go to bed. You do not have to have it where it's keeping you up at night. And Radical Truth to Power was doing that to me.
What I would say, bro, is not what you're saying. So I'm actually just building off of what you were saying. When you're dealing with like clinical level depression, it's not a mood. So, yeah, I agree. Get distracted, but that distraction comes in a lot of different ways, and that's how a lot of people fall into drug use because they're trying to find that distraction. I'm saying don't go there. That's why I was saying don't make real decisions when you're in this. But like I said, okay, hey, watch movies, any kind of movies. Okay, watch horror movies, anything. Go watch anything, whatever. But also, it depends on who you are on the inside. See, who you are on the inside really, 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 really matters, right? So, at the core of me, I have to matter. That's like something in me that's very, very, very deep. So, me watching my favorite silly movie or something like that, it will do nothing for me. It's not touching the whole. I have to do some kind of act of service or something, right? So it's like, here's a good example. Robin Williams, one of the most gifted actors we ever had. Hilarious man. But he was trying to find the joy inside of him by reflecting joy out. If you're dealing with someone who deals with really deep depression, pay attention to them when they're not depressed. They're showing you what's broken inside. Like me, I have no problem admitting it. What's broken inside of me is not mattering, not caring. So everything I try to do is a matter of service. I want to make the world a better place because I don't believe the world's good for me. So that's what I do. People who are really, really silly, but they're also kind of depressed, they're doing that because they wish they could feel that. And if they can't feel it, at least I can make you feel it. You know? Right. People who terrified of being poor, they compensate by never being poor again. And they fixate on that, and they're all about the money. They'll have plenty of money, but everything inside of them is still broken because they feel, I remember being that poor little boy or poor little girl, and I want to make sure that that's never the case again. So that's what I'm saying. Pay attention to the people around you, especially the ones that you've seen go through depression. I promise you, we all have tells. When we're at our best, we're showing you what we are at our worst.
And please.
And you can't fix it for us.
Please.
It's not a move.
Do not go up to somebody that you feel is depressed and want to start doing woodworking.
You might stop it. I even said this. I said it at the time. I said it at the time that he was misdirected, but he was coming from the right place. He finds joy in moving and doing things with his hands. He wanted to help his woman. He thought, I will share with her the thing that helps me when I need help. And that's what he was doing. He just has very low emotional IQ. So he completely missed the boat because it wasn't about what helps you. It's about what helps her. You know?
In his world, if he missed the boat, you can just build one. But Anna, you could go ahead and get this last word in.
It's surprising to me that you never know exactly how some words will land. And you never know when something actually will reach right through every single one of your defenses on something that you thought you had figured out, had conquered, had laid to rest. I do battle feeling like a burden. My caregiver's days are spent around different ways where her daughter's body betrays her, falls apart, doesn't work. It is one of the most painful things a parent can watch. And sometimes when you have that amazing relationship and you have been able to grow up and become friends with that parent, and here we are in this life where we walk as partners in many ways. I could not do this without her. And for the most part, like I was, my therapists have told me one of the happiest patients they have ever spoken to. Like I have more happiness usually than what you would think when you realize the weight of waking up as me is waking up nauseous every single day, fighting through that to want to get out of bed, fighting through that to have the strength and the energy to maybe have a shower, get dressed, start moving around. Everything is painful. There are systems of my body that regularly fail, nerves that don't communicate, and suddenly I am crumbling to the floor. Like, it is hard to let you in this deep, but damn it, I want to. This is a reason why I started turning on the camera, because tell me that there is not strength in being able to face this. It's like you don't have me, motherfucker. You do not have me today. So I really want to thank you, this. I don't know. Like it was not something on my mind, but the emotions were there. You reached them, and I thank you. I needed to hear that. I am not somebody who goes towards suicide. That decision, I have lost friends. I I know what it's like on the other side. I don't want to do that to anybody. But damn it, yes, I want to give up sometimes. This is hell. If there ever is such a thing. But I do wake up in the morning and think, what can I do? What can I do to educate people, to help people who are in my position, who maybe will be in this state, and I'll be there with my phone, ready to talk to them, or ready to listen. I love you both. I thank you. I thank you so much for, I can't think of another word, but allowing this. You know what I mean? And I love everybody in our community. The camaraderie that we have shown, we're a small group, sure. But we love each other, we stand by each other, we let each other go through our low times, and we're ready to hold them up when they're ready to stand. And we're ready to take a step back when somebody needs to take the spotlight. And I thank you for that time today.
To be honest with you, you are, and this isn't like one of those, stroke your ego things. You are such a major influence in me because all this stuff has always been in me. And like one of the things I was telling my niece, the hardest part about a broken heart is that the shattered edges, they scratch your soul. It builds scar tissue and all these things. And seeing you in your battle and knowing people close to me who deal with chronic issues, just knowing how fortunate I am that I don't wake up every day in pain. I don't have to overcome anything every day. And then I look at you and you share your story and you share how much you love on everybody. And not just how you share it, you have actually displayed it into my life. And you don't even know me like that. And it's like, how can I do less? There's good in this world. She's right here, right? You do your support groups, you do all those things. And it's like, yo, all right, no, I'm not going to get, or I haven't gotten the type of attaboys and support that I would love to have so I can actually go out and do more things. But there's good people, which is what tells me there's more good people, right? And then it's just, you're such a powerful spirit, and I love that about you. And it helps me. It really does, because it reminds me that there's good in this world, like actual good. Not like just good people. Yeah, there's good people. But actual good, right? Like you could just focus on you. And couldn't nobody hold that against you. Right? But you're holding people's hands that other people want to keep their hands off of. And that's a beautiful, powerful thing. And I just want to let you know that how much I appreciate that, how much I love you for that, and how much some people who don't even know you, because I tell my kids this all the time, you don't know who draws their strength off of you.
Right.
The person who draws the most strength off of you will never come to you. Right? And you make it possible for those people to see. Like remember when we were early on in this venture together, and people would be like, why is Anna there? She looks tired. She's not finishing what she's saying. And Marlon, to his credit, because that's the big brother of the group right there. It's like, I ain't doing this for you. She's doing this for you. You know what I'm saying? So I just thank you for always being so vulnerable and so upfront and continuing to do things for other people. And that's what I was trying to hit on, Marlon, when I was talking about earlier. If you notice, what Anna's doing is a reflection of that which hurts her inside. And then what I'm doing is a reflection of what hurts me inside. Right? Mm-hmm. When you're helping people who are also thinking that they're a burden, or they're feeling they're not being able to live up to their potential or whatever, you just share that's part of what's an inner struggle for you. So you keep your demons at bay by helping other people keep their demons at bay. Mm-hmm. That's a beautiful thing. It's an act of service. And I think both of you, because one, I don't record much. Marlon made sure that was pointed out earlier. So without him, I'd be sitting in here talking to myself.
I do appreciate this, and I appreciate Anna. It's one thing to go through the struggles that Anna goes through each and every day. It's another thing to be the ambassador to the Ukraine as you're going through these struggles. So I appreciate that even more. Foxy's videos of the week. I was going to yell out Viva la Ukraine, but I was like, why? It's in so many words, though that doesn't make any sense.
Yeah, mildly inappropriate.
Mildly? No, that's straight. Let's go ahead and get into the end of the show. We are about to end the show with 3 videos, Foxy's video of the week. I cannot even count how many people have actually been in and out and watching this show. But again, truly appreciate it. Thank you very much. The show is growing. It was a journey, but to me, it was so worth it. It was. If there was anything that I could say by Anna's story, by Theus's story, is I'm so glad I stuck with this. I'm so glad. I really am so glad. The support of Foxy with this show, I'm so glad. I really do. So I'm not going to go into a big TED talk speech. Just thank you. I really appreciate everybody. I appreciate this panel. I appreciate Foxy. I appreciate the subscribers. I appreciate the people who come on damn near each and every week to comment. Parker, Tracy, Afra, Susan, everybody that comes on each and every week comment on this show. And anybody that I forget. But let's go ahead and get into it. Let's go ahead and end on a good note with Foxy's video of the week. This is so wrong.
I pulled you on. Behind your back, bitch.
Oh my God, are you serious? Are you really taking me to jail?
Your husband could get you out,
really?
Right? Your husband could get you out, huh?
This is ridiculous.
Oh,
Well, that escalated quickly.
That went right off the cliff.
But I was feeling him though, because it's like as soon as he came around there, she looked up and it was just like, I don't hear nothing you saying, ma'am. Like, wow, you're pretty. Now, then it showed. Now I'm gonna get political on y'all. Then it showed what I think of most police officers.
Yeah,
bullies, and they got issues. So as soon as he got rebuffed, he abused his power.
Right. And I'm assuming you're saying, Tracy, my nomination will air tomorrow. No, I'm not. No, it's not.
Something that you're withholding from us, Marlon?
No, I'm not. It was not good, Tracy. Come on. It's not good. Not gonna be shown. I'm so glad Foxy is in this room right now when I show this next video, because me and Foxy has done this before. Hang on there, Diaz. We're almost done. You ain't gonna do nothing but stay up and watch another documentary anyway.
I'll be asleep pretty quick, bro. I'm gonna go turn on some Disney Channel and roll over and go to sleep.
Right. Me and Foxy.
I'm just gonna go to sleep.
I'm not going to sleep. I know. I'm just not. I know I'm not. But me and Foxy has done this before, so I'm glad Foxy is in the room when this happens. But mad, but in love.
What's up?
Hi.
How you doing?
I'm doing just fine. How you doing?
I'm doing good. I hope you have a good day, beautiful.
Well, I hope you have an even better week, handsome.
Well, I hope you have a successful month, sexy.
Well, may God bless your years and all the years to come.
You got something you want to say to me?
You got something you want to say to me?
You looking kind of thick.
You smelling good. Instant panty dropper. What you got on?
Dior. Smells good in here. What you cook?
A little something.
Smells expensive.
I bet it does. Ribeye. Your favorite.
You know what? I love and I appreciate you, baby.
Well, I love and I appreciate you.
Let me show you how much I appreciate you.
No, let me show you how much I appreciate you.
Show me then.
I'ma do it. You do it too.
All right.
Well, I guess you showed me.
You showed me.
Well, have a good day.
You have a better one.
I will.
All right.
That's cute, but I worry about their relationship. They're a little toxic. But no, that's cute. That's cute.
We have done this before.
Every relationship have a little toxicity.
It does. It does. We have done this before where I'm mad at you. I am so mad at you. But there's a part of you that's inside of, I'm mad at you, but I know I'm in the wrong. So,
I do that.
I do that all the time.
Because I ain't never in the wrong. It's fine. No, but it is seldom that I'm in the wrong. Because I believe in always giving up.
Yes, Foxy, he did say that out loud.
Yeah, I did. You can ask my wife. I'm seldom wrong because I literally walk around trying not to offend and hurt anybody, and I'm always trying. But anyway, that doesn't mean anything. Sometimes I am an ass, and that's really nice that she's able to work past that. Yeah, I think that's cool. But you know what's funny? It's like sometimes my wife once asked me a long time ago. She was like, "How did I know that she was the one for me?" And I told her, I was like, "You're the first person that I knew that I loved, and that when you pissed me off, my first thought wasn't to leave. Like, as angry as you get me, leaving isn't like on my list of things that I'm going to do, right? I'm going to take care of you no matter what I'm dealing with, no matter how I'm feeling. One of the ways I show love is through protection. So, like, I'm going to make sure you have everything you need to the best that I can. I'm, all those different things. But even when you done pissed me the hell off, I'm going to bring you some food. I'm what I'm saying? I'm just trying to do the things that I already am going to do anyway. Because that's what I think that love is. Right? That's one of the things I think love is, So I it's cool. But that's why when I hear people talking about what they ain't gonna do, I ain't gonna do that for him, or I ain't gonna do that for her.
I know.
Y'all ain't quite there yet. But it's okay.
I think
young love and old love.
I think back to me and Foxy's relationship, and Foxy is gonna argue this on her deathbed.
And I'm on Foxy's side. But go ahead.
Of course you is, you wimp. Please take my side for a change.
I'll wait till I hear what it is.
She said to me, it's been 2 years. And it was before the second year of us dating. And she said, after the 2 year, we need to take it to the next level. Now, something clicked in me Because you couldn't tell that to the young me. Tell you off the bat. Because you're talking to somebody who 2 years has always been the threshold of any relationship I had. All damn near all my relationships.
Better than me.
After 2 years, I was done. Or something happened. I don't want to deal with you. I don't want to go. Whatever. You okay? Okay. I'm breaking up with you. Okay.
I'm proud of you. 2 years, long ass time.
Nah.
You misquote me.
It was.
Oh.
I'm telling the story.
You misquote me.
I'm not misquoting you.
I said at the 2-year mark, we need to discuss where we're going.
Right,
Discuss
Foxy?
what?
He took it as an ultimatum.
Discuss what? What is it? What is it to discuss?
Look, I ain't gonna be with you in no boy and girlfriend relationship for more than 2 years.
Okay.
I got a family to raise.
Okay. So what's to discuss?
So we're gonna discuss how we're gonna move forward.
Right.
I proposed to her after the 2nd year.
Oh, good.
But this is the funny thing about it, though. I don't know what it was about Foxy where it was, I want Foxy. Never was a doubt in my mind. I want Foxy. And after the 2-year mark, I want Foxy. I'm going to tell you off the bat. Any other woman that would have came to me talking about after 2 years, we need to discuss where we're going. To Outbacks, to Texas, that's all we are going. I don't know where you want to go with this in a relationship. I'd have played real stupid because I know what you ain't talking about is marriage because I ain't there with you. Foxy was the person who I literally said, I'm not going to lose this woman. I'm just not. And I'm not saying, like we've seen on a lot of Reddit stories, I'm not going to say, I'm going to put an engagement ring on your finger and then we're going to be engaged for 5 years. Like, no. I want her. I want her. I want the kids. I want to build a life with her.
So what I'm hearing, Marlon, is one, I was right to choose Foxy's side.
Whatever.
2,
took a side for you.
2, she understood the man that she was with, and she knew it was time to nudge this man because she had already decided that she was going to choose you. It was just a matter of, hey, buddy, you're not going to be wasting my time. So that was a nudge that helped you, sir, because you already knew you wanted her. You just hadn't put a time stamp on it because that's not how a lot of times we move as dudes, right? So she helped you. Congratulations. It worked out the way it was supposed to work out.
Yeah.
It's such a lovely story.
Shut up.
You should write the story. Little embellishments here and there, and you have a great romantic drama.
After saying why Foxy never on camera.
No, he said why she's never on camera.
Because we all have. She don't want to. Basically, I had a show a long time ago, when I was in the bodybuilding and everything like that, where Foxy was not Foxy. Foxy's nickname was The Voice. And I used to do videos where she would be in the background and she would be talking. Foxy is not a personal in your face on the camera type of person. And I appreciate it. Now, I'm also the person that's smart enough to know, but you ain't finna shut her up. I don't even try no more. Whatever. Go to house.
Once upon a time, you tried to shut her up.
Sometimes the conversation just be so riveting, I have to put my input in it.
Like as soon as her eyes open, she's going to say something. It was her thing. And that literally, I remember so many times back, and I grew in a relationship I'm sorry. I was not perfect. I used to see. I remember telling Foxy one time, I know stuff pop in your head, but you ain't always got to express it. It ain't always got to come out your mouth. Now I'm like, dude, you're not being realistic. That's Foxy. If it pops in her head, it is going to come out of her mouth.
I just have more time.
Yeah, you're a lot better. Yeah.
Give her credit.
I give her credit. Afro bodybuilding, yeah. I used to be a bodybuilder. I went to a show and everything. I came in last place, but I still went.
You placed though. We're not going back down there, bro.
No, we're not, because you're gonna see that I came in 5th out of 5.
You still place. That's a place. They could have just said, Mr. Clyburn, we need you to go ahead and step off the stage, sir.
Yeah, pretty much.
And then you wouldn't have placed.
But,
and you had the experience.
But the funny thing about it is I'm proud of myself because as much as everybody, you came in 5th, under 5th. I actually got on stage. What you do?
Exactly.
What did you do?
Right.
So,
right.
So, yeah. You can't hurt me. All right, everybody. Last video of the night. Hell yeah.
The cheetah's gonna eat the antelope.
If the antelope survives, I'm gonna let you have fun tonight. Hey, where you going? What?
You got some good computer skills.
What?
Y'all are killing me. That's what we do on this show. This show is so, in some circles, weird. We will take your emotions everywhere. We will have you pissed off, bad, upset, and everything else. Then we will have you crying, bringing out your tissue and everything else. Then we would have you still holding that same tissue because you wiping the tears out of your eyes because you laughing so hard. We will run the gambit of your emotions. It is just in our DNA. That's what we do. Now, I am actually going to do one thing and one thing only, and I made sure I didn't tell anybody that I'm going to do this. And because Afra is on here because she hasn't seen this. I am going to show this video. I'm going to show this video, and you're not going to see this video until possibly the end of the year.
Oh.
So just let you know, I'm not going to burn this video out. You're not going to see this video again until late December. So keep that informed. $2.
Please enter in the last 4 digits of your social security number.
Representative.
Please enter in the last 4 digits of your...
Representative.
Then you only got about $2. Shut up. $2. Jamal Anderson III. $2.27. That's what you got right now. Representative. What you need done for? You need an opportunity. You need a representative. $2.
Okay, take it.
Oh, I love Foxy laugh.
We are not showing that video again until late December. I don't want to burn everybody out on that video, but I'm sorry, dude. I'm sorry. Representative for $2? What?
I don't know who made that, but they are genius.
What do you want to talk about? Why you got $2? Because you ain't putting your check in the account. What we need to talk about? What do you want to talk about? I have no idea what you want to talk about. At 23 cents, what's the interest? You want to talk about
Jamal Anderson the
Jamal Anderson the third?
His whole name.
What
And
is
then,
government name out there?
and then your woman just left you because she didn't know you had only $2. You knew what you had. You knew what you had in your account. Why you want to talk about it? You want to talk about why you didn't have $3? Still not worth talking about. You ain't in double digits. What you want to talk about? And why you got an attitude? Because you can't get a representative.
Hard being broke around these parts, ain't it?
Yeah, especially when they put your whole name out there. Alpha said the disrespect. Anna, tell everybody where they can find you.
You can find me at BoreliaEtc. or here on the weekend.
Theus?
Oh, you can find me right here on the weekends hanging out with Marlon and Anna. It's the best
Could
place
be
to find
fraud. Someone stole money from his account. No, he knew. No, he knew it wasn't but $2 in the account.
His reaction didn't scream fraud. But no, I feel you. But no, that's where you find me. Check me out here if you want to hear what I'm talking about. There you go.
Although check out his website too. Our United Core.
OurUnitedCore.com. Community Build Movement. Please go ahead and check that out. I appreciate it. He got hit at Walmart for $1,200, taken out of his of his account.
That one sucks. But you know what? You would have called with a whole different attitude than what he called with.
Yeah, but the silence on his part makes everything that you're saying after that was the case.
Yeah.
If you sit there and tell about you ain't got but $2, well the hell I ain't got but $2 damn because somebody stole $1,500. Give me a fucking representative. I am gonna talk to somebody. Nah, you got called out because you knew you don't have $2.
Yeah. He knew and the machine knew that he had $2.
Yeah.
Which, like I said, hard being broke. Hard being broke.
Mm-hmm.
You can't even get that money out. You gotta go to the bank to get that.
You gotta get inside. Talk to us. I bought $50 worth of stuff one day. The next day went for a $25 balance with zero when I called.
I hope that they were able to get that rectified, put that money back.
But she didn't call, or he didn't call representative.
Did you call representative?
I'm just saying.
Did you call representative though, Afra? Did you call representative? Ladies and gentlemen, boys and girls, children of all ages, non-conforming individuals, and of course,
I'm assuming you're a legitimate club until.
I appreciate Anna. I appreciate Theus. And until next time, which is tomorrow, we will see you when we see you. Peace.
I ain't got no video. I don't know. I can't say that.
Nope, nothing.
No problem. You still ain't got but